Luigi's Mansion 2 HD on the Nintendo Switch. A game that has been often criticized lately because of reasons that are actually outside the game. People are complaining the game is $60 when it was only $40 on the 3DS. People are complaining that there's no extra content. They're complaining that Luigi's Mansion 1 is not included with it. That's my complaint. And overall, people are viewing this game as a lazy port, has a milked-in remake, remaster, whatever. However, beneath all the hoopla is a solid game. And today, I want to go over the review scores for Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. First, I want to give my thoughts on it. I'd give the game an 8 out of 10. I think it's a game that is decently fun. It may not be the strongest entry in the series, but it's very enjoyable, and I kind of like the Scare Scraper mode too. But let's get into it. But first, please remember to hit the subscribe button, like, and share the video. Much appreciated. So without further ado, let's get into the Metacritic score. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD got a 78 on Metacritic, which is generally favorable. It had 58 reviews as of this recording. 44 positive, 14 mixed, 0 negative. However, there were no perfect scores to report. Sorry to say, I didn't think there would be. Maybe an outlet here or there might go crazy for it. Not really. Highest scores on here are 9s out of 10s, which I want to get into. Starting with God is a Geek, 9 out of 10. Saying, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is a remake with a modern look, but no real new content. However, it's still a fantastic game, and the best version for people to experience the first time. A fair review? Game & Mobile says, with a 9 out of 10, there's a sense of sadness in Luigi's form as this is uttered. Sure, his brother gets all the glory, but Luigi is clearing out huge collections of ghosts, getting knocked back on his butt by rambunctious ghouls and facing his fears. Vooks gave it a 9 out of 10, saying Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is the same great game it was on the Nintendo 3DS, now with a fresh lick of paint. And improved controls thanks to the dual analog sticks. That is interesting. The dual analog sticks helping with the controls. I'm all down for that. That definitely will make it a better experience in the 3DS game. Also, I want to point out the 3DS game had a higher Metacritic score. So there is some backlash to this game even being re-released for the original game to have a better Metacritic score. But it's really the definitive version to play, especially with the dual analog sticks. IGN Spain gave it a 9 out of 10, saying Nintendo brings one of the best Luigi games, and now it looks impressive on the Switch. To be fair, how many Luigi games have there been? Instead, it prefers to maintain its essence with few playable new features, especially in multiplayer mode. Even so, it is still an essential game. Essential game, I won't go as far. I do think that if you're on the fence about buying this or not, I really can't, persuade you hard, oh god, you have to buy this. I'm more excited for Nintendo World Championships coming out next month. However, I definitely am interested and will partake in this entry. Hobby Consolas gave it an 86 out of 100, saying Luigi's Mansion 2 HD may not be at the level of other remasters and remakes like Metroid Prime Remastered or Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, but even that doesn't stop it from remaining a timeless classic. I wouldn't call it a timeless classic. I think that's overblown, guys. We can't throw the word classic around for everything. It's a good game. That's where I'm going to leave it at that. But it's nothing compared to Paper Mario 1000 Year Door or Metroid Prime Remastered. Nintendo News gave it an 85 out of 100, saying although it's a pretty bare bones remaster, and that's what a lot of people have a problem with, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is still frighteningly brilliant, taking the 3DS classics to new heights with its improved graphics and quality of life changes. I love quality of life changes. Just like with Paper Mario the 1000 Year Door, adding the partner ring. Loved it. You give me quality of life changes, it helps so god dang much. Well played, gave it an 85 out of 100. Luigi, the lovable, scaredy cat that he is, returns for another outing that holds up well with its transition from the 3DS to Switch. Despite being a straight port without any new features, it remains a gorgeous and innovative world worth exploring for old and new fans alike. Pretty fair review, pretty close to my feelings on it, I would say. The Games Machine, 85 out of 100, saying fun, lighthearted, stimulating, ghostly, and adorable. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is a great game that mixes joy, brilliant ideas, and Ghost with expert craftsmanship. It's not perfect because the original wasn't perfect. Okay, fair enough. Vandal gave it an 82 out of 100, saying Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is not by any means the most elaborate and attractive relaunch that Nintendo has made, but it is a product that more than fulfills its mission of updating to high definition visual effects of a very fun and charming game. Yes, yes indeed. Let's look at some 8 out of 10s, which is how I feel about it. CG Magazine saying, while it may feel like a step back from Luigi's Mansion 3, Luigi Mansion 2 HD is an excellent glow-up of an excellent 3DS game. Nintendo gave it an 8 out of 10, saying Luigi's most personal adventure comes to Nintendo Switch. Is it its most personal adventure? Luigi's most personal adventure? Or are we just making shit up? With no more pretentious than being a high-definition version of a fantastic Nintendo 3DS game that successfully blends exploration and comic horror. I do remember the game being probably kind of funny, you know? VGC, 8 out of 10. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is another strong Nintendo remaster. I don't know if it's strong. It is a remaster, which doesn't mess around with the original too much, but delivers enough improvements, particularly in terms of visual detail, to make it a worthwhile release. So, I mean, they're saying it was worth the while of the release. I think that is to be debated. I do think it would have been better off if you throw 1 in there and you would have had Luigi's Mansion 1 plus 2. Like you had Pikmin 1 plus 2. I mean, it only makes sense, guys, right? But we got what we got. So, Games Hub, 8 out of 10. While some levels are better designed than others, and the game's narrative depth is lacking. Interesting. Luigi's Mansion 2's HD's excellent puzzles, light horror vibes, and Luigi himself make this game an excellent choice for re-release on the Nintendo Switch. IGN, the industry leader, gave it an 8 out of 10. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is a great installment in Nintendo's Spectre Snaring series, even if it's not the best one you can play on the Switch. And that is fair to say. Luigi's Mansion 3 is definitely the breadwinner of the series to many people. I'm very partial to 1 myself. I loved it on the GameCube. Strictly for nostalgia reasons, I'd go with that. But Luigi's Mansion 3 is technically, definitively the best Luigi's Mansion for sure. Nintendo Life, 8 out of 10. Good lord, you have Nintendo Life in your title and 8 out of 10 is all you can muster? They say Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is Luigi's Mansion 2 with a fancy HD lick of paint. What's with the lick up part of paint? This is the second time I've heard that. Surprise, it looks great. And the new models, animations, and revamped visuals make for a game that's close to the glorious Luigi's Mansion 3 and how modern and swish it all is. I don't know, man. Luigi's Mansion 3 looks freaking gorgeous. I don't know if this looks better than that. I'll put it that way. Metro Game Central, 8 out of 10. A fantastically innovative and charming adventure makes a successful leap from portable to home console, but the high asking price will make it a hard sell for many. Yeah, $60 whenever the original was $40. It's kinda rough out there, people. Like, Nintendo's got to fix their pricing a little bit. They're still better off than like a PlayStation, for example, but you would figure when you're selling Metroid Prime Remastered for $40, all of a sudden now you Paper Mario is $60, Luigi's Mansion 2 is $60, Donkey Kong that comes out in early 2025, Donkey Kong Country Returns, is going to be $60. Nintendo might say, yo, we're not doing any more $40 games, you're going to have to cough up to $60. And that's where we are with this. So, okay, there's a ton of 8 out of 10s. I'm not going to sit here and read all of them to you guys because we are limited on time and there's only so long I could talk about Luigi's Mansion before you all just click off the video, which would be understandable. Game Informer gave it a 78 out of 100, which is the same as the Metacritic score, saying, I am a big 3DS fan, but I am grateful to have Luigi's Mansion 2 on the Switch. Dropping the Dark Moon subtitle and giving it a number also feels like a specific choice to make sure this game is fully recognized as part of the Luigi's Mansion canon. Yet I never knew there was a dispute before where people were thinking it's not part of the canon. But I guess Nintendo did want to make it clear, guys. This is Luigi's Mansion 2. It's not Dark Moon, it's 2. Let's look at some mixed reviews. Comic Book gave it a 7 out of 10, which I guess is considered mixed. Like the mansions of Evershade Valley, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is haunted by the ghost of the past. With Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, Nintendo had a perfect opportunity to revise the worst aspect of the original and offer the definitive version of an already well-liked game. Instead, they did not. Press Start Australia, 7 out of 10. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is exactly as it sounds. It's the second game in a series with a very fresh coat of paint. Unfortunately, while the visual upgrade is a direct effort to improve upon, it ultimately still harbors the same design quirks that made the original game so controversial. Screen Rant, 7 out of 10. Despite some of the minor story and gameplay grievances, this is still a wonderful experience. I don't call a 7 out of 10 wonderful. If you're gonna say wonderful, you have to give it more than a 7. Sorry. GameSpot. Man, there are hard graders sometimes, aren't they? 7 out of 10. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon on 3DS was a surprising revival for an unconventional game. Now that we've had Luigi's Mansion 3, the series has come more into its own, and the second game is neither the trailblazer nor the refined third entry. Man, they could be harsh sometimes, can't they? With their words, even when they do review a game at a 7. Tech Radar Gaming, 6 out of 10. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is a no-frills port of the 3DS game with some minor visual upgrades. It won't win over any who dislike the original, but it's a solid experience for everyone else. This game's not a 6 out of 10, sorry. Nintendo first-party games usually never worse than a 7. So I think this review's a little negative. But let's go to the most negative of the critics. Borderline unfavorable review. It's a 5 out of 10 from Checkpoint Gaming, saying, for game preservation reasons, it's important that Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is playable to play on current-gen hardware. However, this remake does little to address the original title's core gameplay issues, which have only grown more egregious with time. Let's discuss those gameplay issues. A lot of people at the time that did criticize Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon didn't like the mission aspect of the game. However, it was crafted for handheld gaming, so it was more pick up and play, so you could complete a mission and set it down. So yeah, that doesn't translate the best to a home console, but I think that it makes it a little more unique in the series as well. All three Luigi's Mansion games have some differences in them. And so I don't see the harm in having this mission-based structure that Luigi's Mansion 2 has. But some will. And with that, guys, that would conclude our critic reviews. And I would say, I don't think we got any user reviews up. Okay, no user reviews to speak of. It's a little early on this matter. That's fine. We'll all, hopefully, if you do buy it, we'll be able to play it ourselves and make our own judgments. But once you do, please come back here and leave in the comments below what you think about Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. I thank you all for watching the video, and I will be back with more uploads, of course. As always, keep dreaming. Oh wait, that's the wrong guy. Sorry. Have a good one.